Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing?
You know,
Big
I've been
stretch?
lounging.
Big
I've been lounging. It's
stretch.
cloudy and rainy,
Say,
and I've been in such a book slump that I have not read in months. And this is reading weather. I think of it every time that it's this weather, and I can't get myself. I think I need to go shopping for my books. That's probably my problem.
yes,
I
that
need
makes
I need
complete
different ones.
sense. Have you read The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose?
I have not.
Okay, get that book and then get The Perfect Divorce because oh my God,
Okay, I need
they're
to.
both very good
It is on my list, so
because I
I
put
need
it
to.
there.
I need to get, yeah. I haven't gone to the store in so long to buy books
I
because I have a shelf of them that I haven't read yet, and people keep gifting me them.
That's
And
not
I
your
love
problem.
that, but it's not the same as me picking out my own. And I think
Yep.
that that's my problem.
Yeah.
I now have all books that have been picked out for me, and
Yeah.
I don't want to
So
read those.
do, yes, but do The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose and then The Perfect Divorce. Slammed both of them. I waited for The Perfect Divorce to come out and it was perfect.
I'll have to read that. That I feel like
I
it's been on
love
my list for a long time.
it has because I read The Perfect Marriage years
I've
ago.
listened to a few audiobooks, but
Oh, that's my
audiobooks to me
favorite.
aren't the same. Like, I know that it is reading. I just like it doesn't feel the same, and I don't comprehend as much unless I'm reading it. Like, I don't like the tone of a narrator. I want
My mother-in-law says that
how
too.
I would read.
There's nothing better than my toddler doing whatever the fuck she wants to do
Well,
and
if you
me
have got
having my
headphones
head
in.
and I have my headphones in and I am living life with we'll
I
be driving and I'll just have the book playing or whatever. And she's just in the back, blah, 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 playing with her stuff. I'm like, yes,
I can
absolutely.
disassociate very well when I'm reading usually, if I'm interested in the book.
Oh my
So
God.
a lot of times I don't hear what the hell he's doing.
That's good for you, but
I just
not
have
good.
not I've lost the habit of reading and
If I was sitting here
it's
reading a
sad.
book, she would come over and body slam me.
Yeah, I just start reading it out loud. Like as long as it's not a gory murder. I just read it out loud and then he'll listen for a while and then he's like off doing his own thing. Like whatever.
Reading out loud just reminds me of class, and it sounds stupid.
I feel like it makes me a better
No, it
reader,
sounds stupid, like
like
coming out of
inside
me, you
reader.
know? Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I
I
hate,
don't like reading
I
in front of adults.
no, it's awful.
But
You're
like
like,
I
oh my
can
God.
read in front of
And
my
there's
toddler
so
because
much pressure. Oh my gosh.
as long as I know that I can read better than you, then I can read out loud. So to read to toddlers is fine.
Cash, you didn't even know what this word is.
Exactly. He
Gosh.
can read though, and it's wild. Like he will talk to
Girl.
me in gibberish in some sentences, and I'm like, finish that sentence clearer. But then
Yeah.
he will point out words, and I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
But
Victoria the other day was, I have like a wash, dry fold, like laundry company, same service daily or whatever, like mat on the floor. And she went through and said every single letter. And I was like, I didn't
yeah.
even know she could do that.
Yeah, Cash has known letters for so long that like I look at preschool requirements and like I'm like, he knows all this though.
Yeah.
Like, so we're
Does
moving
he?
on to like the solar system and things like that.
Cute.
And speaking clearer and not starting a sentence clear and then blah 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 blah. Blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Finish
What
that
did
again.
you say?
Try again. Huh? Huh?
What? Yeah.
No.
So,
I tell Victoria sometimes, like, if she starts doing that, sometimes I know that what she wants to say doesn't actually come out. Like, she's always been a very well talker, very
she
good
spoke well
speaker
for a while. Yeah.
ever. Yeah. And that's hands down Miss Rachel. She's a godsend. Absolutely. That has nothing to do with me and Braden at all. I'm
I
pretty
feel like
sure
that's a
it's
lot with
just Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel and his colors, shapes, the sounds,
Yes.
all
I
that.
feel
Like,
like she's just a godsend. I love that woman.
me too.
Anyways, but I think that when she gets like super into her like pretend play, she doesn't know how to pretend and also say, I guess would
Yeah.
be the right words.
Like her
Kind
brain's
of.
like trying to
Yes,
compartmentalize both.
yes, and she's just not getting it sometimes.
Yeah.
So what I tell her is just take a deep breath and let's try again, but let's do it in smaller pieces, and then she can do it a little bit better. So maybe he just needs
Yeah.
to break it down more.
He definitely does everything at once and quick. Like
That's what she
he's
tries to do too.
so
Yeah, 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 yeah.
wild, quick at everything. He's just like he reminds me a lot of my sister. My sister growing up, we always joke that she spoke in cursive because it would just be quick. We would
Yeah,
have no clue. Like she would be a teenager and we're like, "What?"
yeah.
You know?
Once
But
again,
yeah. I think my dad said that this past week because she was in town and was like, "He's just like you. He speaks in cursive." And I'm like, "I need him to not because I get overstimulated. I
yeah.
need to know what you want right now."
Yeah. And no
Clear
whining.
and precise.
No whining.
Yeah. No
Okay,
whining. Yeah.
no whining. Okay, let's talk about
Sherry.
Sherri Papini. Yes. My
Ugh.
husband just said, "Hey, I'm done at the dentist. Do you want me to pick up a salad or something to go with the pizza?" Like, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds great, actually.
Maybe a dessert too. Brownies sound good.
No, she's good. She doesn't need any more desserts. Okay, let's talk
No.
about Sherri Papini.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
for
never
me?
going to talk about her.
No, we're gonna talk about her. Let's talk about her.
Yeah.
I'm conflicted about Sherri Papini. So we've watched a couple we've watched a couple episodes about her. We watched a 2020 about her. We've watched um her show. It was a Gone
It was
Girl
a
or
movie, Gone Girl.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Um she was kidnapped for 22 days. Blah
She
blah
air
blah
quoted
blah.
that for people listening.
Yes, I did air quote. She was gone for 22 days.
Yeah.
Gone for 20. I said gone
Oh, yeah.
because we're not sure. And then they recently came out with Sherri Papini caught in a lie. So this is after she went to prison. This is after she got released. This is after everything, and it's kind of like playing into like the befores and after of her going to prison. She did go to prison because she did lie, and you cannot lie to federal prosecutors or the FBI. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I mean, you can't
Don't
waste
lie.
FBI's time.
No.
They're very
Um,
busy.
they're very busy. There's lots of missing people.
Right.
Um, so she got in trouble for that. Um, and she never really talked about it until this show. She decided to have her part. Um, she did say that the guy that kidnapped her was her ex-boyfriend, which we knew.
And that she
Um,
did have some sort of relationship still with him.
yes, she was having an emotional affair, is what she called it.
Right.
I also put that in air quotes if you didn't see that.
Yeah.
Um, and then she also basically accused her ex-husband of being emotionally
Financially,
and financially abusive.
anything but physically abusive, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. So like he never hit her,
Right.
but
Like
he
he was
did
just
say like,
emotionally, this is what she's saying anyway.
yes. Um, she she did move out of their house and he took custody of the kids and she actually moved in with his sister, which I find is very bizarre.
That threw me off also because I will
Right.
say the throughout the whole thing from the beginning to the end, when Sherry speaks, you can see you I don't know. I can see this like she's lying, she's exaggerating, she's something. Like she doesn't seem genuine. Like and you can tell in her mannerisms or I feel like I can. It's her face. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it, but she just never seems like she's fully telling the truth, except for a
Well,
few
that's because
times.
that show's literally called Caught in a Lie.
Right.
Well, of course you have those opinions of her. The bigger
But you
problem
can
is
you can see it. I just
you can
like
see,
the condescending when she's like, "Well, have you ever lied?" Instead of answering questions, she's like, "Well, how often have you lied?" And it's
right,
like, okay, well, we're not on a show for wasting
us. Yeah.
FBI's time and efforts and accusing my ex-husband of abusing me and my ex-boyfriend of kidnapping me. Like, girl, let's get a
Right,
grip here.
right.
But then the sister appears and is saying that
The sister-in-law.
the sister-in-law, sorry, yeah, the ex-husband's sister, has Sherri living with her. I was like, okay, well, that's gotta mean something, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm all for being a girl's girl, but I can't imagine just blindly taking your sister-in-law's side. She did admit that she's not close with her brother and never
Yeah.
has been.
Yeah.
But I find her living with you and like this whole situation being so extreme that like
Right. So this is why I believed Sherri and her sis and his sister. He he
from
said,
what standpoint? Like him being emotionally abusive?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. So he said the kids go to daycare. I don't pay for daycare because she's a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah,
I
okay,
don't find
yes,
the need for that.
that
So
bothered
that
me.
right there, I was like, wait a minute, but you knew about the daycare, but she has to pay for it. Okay.
Right.
Like that's one way to say I don't agree with that. It's another thing for the mom to be like, what do you mean? We have to go to daycare. I'm still working from home, even though I'm at home. I'm
Right.
working. That's how I'm paying for this daycare.
Right.
So at the same time, I'm like, okay, is there truth to that? Because that was the first thing we heard was when she
I
first went missing was
I
that
do feel like there's truth behind that in some sort of way
right,
because there shit has to happen for it to get to this point, obviously.
right.
Like shit like this doesn't just happen. It wasn't a happy marriage. Like I don't know, but
I feel like that happens a lot with young marriages when you get
and
married
quick
too young.
marriages and
Yes.
quickly.
And
Like
they
you do not
also
know
fit that,
somebody.
yeah, they also fit that box. They were junior high lovers. They split off. They had two different lives through high school and then parts of college, right?
I think so.
And
Or at
then
least
they got back together when they like saw each other. She was engaged with her ex that kidnapped her, and then she married him, and then she kept the relationship. I wouldn't say relation. Would it be a relationship?
I I mean it is some sort of relationship,
Yeah,
but
emotionally or not, if you're
yeah.
confiding in somebody else, that's an affair,
Yeah, I mean you're
right?
having an affair in some sort of level. I mean,
Yeah,
you know. I
I don't
just
know.
I do see that. I do believe there's some sort of truth with some sort of financial abuse. She was secluded in this house with just her kids,
Right.
whatever. I do get that. And I do get
Isolated too.
isolated and I do get her wanting to reach out and have this emotional connection with someone who she was engaged to at some point.
Yeah.
And so I get all of that. I just
I don't know if her story is 100% did she get kidnapped? I don't know. I
I
can't
think
tell.
that that's the problem. I think that I can tell that she's still not fully coming
Being
clean.
honest. Yeah.
And so like she needs to tell the dirtiest, like she needs to just because at this point we're all judging anyway. Like at this point, what do you
Oh,
have to lose?
totally. This
Like,
is why we're here. Yeah.
and I think that's why I still have a bad taste in my mouth because it's just things don't line up. And even in her documentary at the very end, she says, "Do you think this documentary is gonna help me or hurt me?" Because she knows that she's been asked questions that she could not fucking answer and that she deflected. And
And she did deflect, but she also said there are some things I just don't remember. And
yeah,
you have to also remember of all her trauma of childhood grow ups. She had lots of childhood trauma.
yeah,
And that also your mind protects yourself.
absolutely. Yeah,
So we need to she probably doesn't remember what she doesn't want to remember as well as childhood trauma.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I don't remember a lot of things personally, but there are some things that I can remember to a T. But
Yeah.
like any trauma, no clue. I mean, you could ask me, I can tell you like, oh yeah, I remember being told that, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember
I mean,
a
our
lot
brains
of my trauma.
protect us.
Totally, as they
For
should.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
what it's there for.
Yeah. And I do believe that she was abused in some sort of way. I
Oh,
believe that
totally.
she has blocked out traumas.
The
I
crazier thing is that he straight up told people that she was having her children walk around with baggies full
am poisoning
of,
them.
yeah, of baggies full of rubbing alcohol to make them nauseous.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. That's over crazy.
And that to me
And no one
is an
noticed these
abuser. That
bags?
is an
Yeah,
emotional abuser. Like you are
yeah.
turning other people against her,
Her,
her
yeah.
own
She's already,
kids,
yeah.
even.
Like her kids
Um,
are already traumatized by all of this,
yeah,
by her actions and his.
right. I think that that's where a lot of people are conflicted also because they're trying to take her side and or his. And
There
to
is none.
me, I feel
It's
like
kid.
they had
Yeah,
an abusive relationship and it spiraled into this out of control thing. I don't think
totally.
that she planned on him calling cops. I think that she wanted him to worry for her, but not make this a public thing of some sort.
Maybe,
Honestly, I don't know. Um,
maybe.
or I think potentially she was gonna maybe meet up with the ex, and the ex didn't want her to leave and maybe got a little whatever.
Maybe. We'll never know. He hasn't
But
been
you
charged
never
with
know.
anything. Her ex-husband has never been charged with anything, and she still doesn't have custody of her kids.
Right.
So it's everyone, even he said she was the best mom until he found out that she was with James, and then he turned on her,
Right.
and that's the ex-boyfriend that kidnapped her. That's when he turned on her, and it was over. And what was a post prenup?
Um, well, essentially that nothing was gonna be, she was gonna be left with nothing, and the kids
If
were
she
gonna be
had an
his.
affair. Yeah, if she had an
And
affair.
this came up because at first I was like, why would you ever why would you do that?
Yeah,
And why would you present it? Like
yeah.
what? But
After you're married. After you're
after you're
married.
married. But it did come up after she had already had an affair of some
Mhm.
sort. So it feels like she was having another affair and couldn't handle the consequences of it. And I hate to say that because
I mean,
never would I
probably.
want to accuse a woman of something like that. Especially if she's being abused and she wants out and whatever.
Yeah,
Because that is what I feel like that, because if he was an abuser, that to me, as soon as she signs that, whether she was having an affair or not, once she signs that, he can do whatever he wants. And when she leaves, like, well, here's her signature. Like I
yeah.
get all of this. Like, so she's like fucking trapped.
But kids aren't prizes.
No. It does make me sick when people use kids
Kids
as
should
a
be with their parents if
yeah,
they're good parents. And by
yeah,
all the things that they said, she was a phenomenal mother.
right. Yeah, as a mom, I can't imagine the like knowing that you are up against a losing battle
Right.
to get your kids back. Like
Yeah. Super hard.
it blows my mind. But I just I feel bad for her because I am so wishy-washy on her. I'm
Yeah.
always like I feel like yes,
Okay.
she had to have been abused. She has to have traumas because first off, nobody
Well,
acts this
she
way
was
without
abused. Yeah, she was
yeah.
abused. Her parents confirmed
I
that.
mean
Her
by her
dad, oh, yeah,
husband.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely has trauma. And
Yeah.
any people pleaser that you know probably has trauma as well, childhood trauma.
I feel like I people please, but
No, you don't.
I don't know
You're
what
not a
kind of
people.
trauma.
You're not a people pleaser.
Oh, good.
You, you march to your own drum every time. You're an older sibling. That's it. Like I would never say that you have childhood trauma.
I don't think I have childhood trauma.
No.
No. Especially when I'm in comparison to
Yeah.
I look around and I'm like, oh,
I'm also not a people pleaser, but I'm very controlling in my own way, and
I
that's
think
how I
I'm
protect
controlling in some
myself.
ways, and that's why I can't handle like my kid whining and things because I need it's like, okay, I need to control how
Yeah.
you're behaving.
And you can't control children because they're not robots.
Oh, that's a losing battle. He's already whining at me. You can hear me talking about him.
Oh, Kenny? I think mine finally went to sleep when her alarm's gonna go.
Mine
Oh
does
no,
not
she's not.
sleep.
Yeah. It's hard. He slept. Don't talk to him like that. He slept yesterday,
He slept
the day
yesterday for
before,
the first time in like a year.
and the day before.
Late. Oh, the day before. Yes, that was when Ezra was here. That was the good day. Yesterday, he napped late.
You have
We
a
watched.
teenager, and they are crazy.
He definitely is a three-nager.
Yeah,
I'm
Victoria's turned him into
coming.
a three-nager.
I'm coming.
Sweet
It's
boy.
going.
I love him. I love that kid. Yeah, if it, Sherri Papini, very, very hard to read. I don't think that's the last we're going to hear from her.
I hope not, because
I
I
hope
need
not
to hear the
either.
actual truth, and I know there's something missing, or
Right.
something that's being exaggerated or not told, or something.
Totally.
Because she does dodge questions, and I
She
understand not
does.
remembering, but she dodges some in the way of like deflecting, like the time that she was like, well, I want everyone to ask themselves, how often do you lie? Like, how many lies have you told? It's just not
Yeah,
like on a
that's
public
bizarre.
scale. And I'm like, not one of my lies ever, ever
Yeah.
would get the FBI involved. So I
Yeah,
think it's on a different scale, my girl. But
totally. I think we're not done with her.
no,
No.
no.
But it is what it is, and we will follow her until we know the truth, which will
Yes.
probably be for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. And I just was scrolling on Hulu, and I found a couple more. I found one that
Ooh,
we need to watch. So
perfect. Now I'm
I will
diggity down.
tell you that after this whenever I get the remote.
Love it.
Because I don't remember.
Yeah. So let us know what you think about Sherri Papini, victim or
Scammer.
not. Scammer. Good word.
Because that
Love
would
it.
be a scam, right? Like you're scamming
People.
not necessarily money, but like you're scamming.
I mean, she did scam money because she got trauma help and everything like that. And she had to pay it all back.
Yeah,
So we'll see what
you
happens.
know?
I'm curious.
I'm
But
curious
until
too.
then,
Bye.
bye.